Right shot on the left side.
And he open, you can't give him chances, especially one-on-one.
Leaving no rebound. Such rolling, charging in at full steam to his backhand. Stopped by Ruzicka. Left with a step, Such unloads. Steered away by Ruzicka.
This is a cool moment for father and son and obviously the rest of the Iginla family.
Drops for Iginla. TJ Iginla shoots goal.
Pass broken up and brought back by Iginla. Iginla, great pass. Brayden Cruz walks in and shoots goal.
Over to Yenborg. Yenborg got 2 feet back in and score. Igor Stenberg. Welcome to the tournament. It's there he's got one. Igor Stenberg.
And they struck early again. A minute and 20 seconds in. Off to Salim Melenius.
Well, what's up, everyone? This is episode 2 of From the Nosebleeds. We got the same cast, but it's okay. They're still amazing. We got Ben, we got Next Gen, and then Puck Prospect Hub here today. And today we got a good one. We got a nice episode. It's going to be should be 45 minutes, something around there. We're giving you our top 16 mock drafts for this year's NHL draft. So if Ben would like to pull them up,
Yes, sir.
then we'll go in order. So Ben's going to start. I'll go second. Next Gen's going to go third. Prospect Hub is going fourth. How's everyone doing today?
But we're chilling.
Yeah.
Just got done
Busy
with
day.
school. Are you already focused on the draft?
Yeah, I can't wait. So this is
there-
Ben's.
This is my
top
mock
16.
draft. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, McKenna first. I do have Chase Reed at 2. Of course, if they trade down, it's gonna be Stenberg with everything. But with the Sharks, I don't think they take forward because can trade to me makes no sense. He's coming off a good year. Yeah, that's forward court stack, but I have them taking Chase Reed. I have Stenberg at 3.
They need a defender anyway, so 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Canucks taking Stenberg. They love their Swedes. Why not? Kaden Viroff at 4. I do have him above. Well, not above, but second right-handed defenseman. Makes sense.
Right.
I think that Leshunov experience in Chicago hasn't worked, so they're taking the quick route into Behoff. I do have Smiths to New York, the Rangers.
I can see
that. The Rangers, they're not going into a rebuild or retool, whatever. Yes, retool probably, but they need a player that could ready very soon. I think Smith is that player. Malota to the Flames, Carroll's to the Kraken. I've been saying it for a while. The Kraken need a defenseman. Stop taking middle 6 forward. Carroll's, please and thank you.
Yeah.
But their problem is they're gonna be trading guys, so they're taking.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
100%. I mean, I feel like that fire sale is coming soon for the Kraken.
That's why I don't think they'll take a defenseman because their defensemen are kind of locked. They kind of.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, they also have
And-
Alexiak for a long ass contract. I believe.
They're talking about trading McCann. They're talking about trading
Shane Wright.
Who knows? But they could even trade down. Actually, could maybe even do that to take it forward.
100%. Great point.
Vigo Bjork to the Jets. Again, same situation as the Rangers. They need a player that can be ready, NHL ready soon. I think Vigo Bjork is the best forward available that can be NHL ready as soon as possible. Belches to the Panthers. It just fits that build. Big forward, big body forward, power forward. That fits that grid in Florida. Jackson Rudolph to the Predators. Okay, it's a weird situation over there because they need pretty much everything, but I feel like they do need the defenseman the most. I think right defenseman, I think he is. Emin to the Blues. Novotny to the Devils. I look at that Devils prospect pool. Holy fuck, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty dog shit.
It is awful.
It's pretty dog shit.
At this point, I just went, okay, just best player available, Novotny.
They're picking up. Like actually, I mean, yeah, probably best forward available. To be honest, they're just trying to win. To be honest, I mean,
Daniel,
They're basically, I think their window is, or they want to get that back right open, and they got Sonny Meta now as their GM, so I think they could easily just go to a quick round, yeah, go BPA.
BPA. I mean, you do go BPA in the first round anyway. You don't go need. No.
Yeah.
Daniel Lawrence, the Islanders. I had Novotny and
I
Lawrence
respect
flip.
that.
I had Lovett and Lawrence flip at the start, but I look at the Devils prospect pool. I was like, yeah, they do need best player available. That's why I switched. Suvanto, the Blue Jackets.
That fits their system 100%.
That fits the system, yeah. And like after Fantilli, who's the best center? Like who's the second youngest center? Like
No one.
youngest,
But not only that. I'm gonna go on.
the Bell Blues. Like
Yeah, and then one
They
more
do
thing
need a
before you
center.
go on.
Mhm.
One more thing is that they've been really good developing the European guys. Like
Yep.
look at Marchenko. No one knew about him, and now he's like tearing up the fucking league. So and then you
Voronkov
could
as
just
well.
exactly Matejchuk as well. You could go on, but it fits their system 100% and the development system.
I have Ryan Lynn to the Blues because I think if we hadn't taken a forward at 11, you do take a defenseman at 15. I think Ryan Lynn's the best one there that's not left-handed. Because left-handed they have a bunch of guys. Right-handed they don't have much, so Ryan fits perfect. And Nikita Klepov to Capitals because Russian. And I mean he's born in America, but Russian nationality. So it fits as well. He's a big body forward. You fit there well.
Yeah, then if you look at they also have a farm system full of Russians in that area of Europe or that area of Europe because look at Ovi, Protus, and then I think there's another Protus, and then you have
Yeah.
Miroshnichenko, like you just said. You could go again on and on with the development of European players. And I think those two teams, the Blue Jackets and the Capitals, do very well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Your turn.
Yeah. So this is mine.
Mine.
Mine's a little different because number one, I got a job and let's just say it's busy now. So number one, it's obviously McKenna. Two, I got the Sharks going Stenberg because I know they need a defenseman, and I think they will 100% trade down. But let's just face it, the Sharks. You don't want to miss out on probably, in my opinion, one of the most NHL ready players in the whole draft, and that's Stenberg for you. I don't think you want to miss out on that pure talent, that raw talent that could get you places. You could put him on the third line or the second line, and he will tear it up. He'll go insane. Number three, Malhotra is the most Vancouver Canucks pick ever. Let's just be honest. They need a center, and I feel like he committed to BU. Am I wrong?
Yep, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, BU is very good at developing centers. So, I mean, just look at if you could pull up the list, Ben, of who they've developed center wise.
Why would you say? What'd you say?
If you could pull up the list on who they've developed fully for centers,
For BU?
that'd be great. Yeah, for BU because they've done very well in past years, or just offensive players in general. Because if you look at the way they've been producing NHL talent, is just really, really impressive. Like BU and BC, especially BC, because I'm a BC fan. Go Eags.
Yeah, they developed just off the top of my head, Eichel and Celebrini recent years.
Yeah, exactly. The list also goes down. And then for BC, Leonard, Fortescue, Perot, you could go on and on. But just look at these names. These names tell you a lot.
I'm
That
not finding
bench shown.
anything. I'm not finding anything. So
You're
But
not finding anything? Okay.
nope.
Anyway. Um well, offensive talent, you could go off of that. So next, pick 4, I got Chase Reed. Blackhawk, like Ben said, they need a defensive player that's I feel like he's not really NHL ready, but I feel like in like a year, maybe half a year, he'll be called up. At 5, Rangers, Keenan Vierhoff. Um, this is a very interesting area of the draft that we're about to enter because it's a very open and free. Because outside of like the top 2, it's just anything could happen. So for the Rangers, I got Vierhoff, Flames, Smits. I feel like Smits fits their defensive flow and how they play defensively. So that's one thing. And then the other thing, I feel like they really need a shutdown defender, and that's Smits as well. So that's one. Kraken, I got Carroll's. I I think it I think it makes sense because Carroll's is very talented in both ways, offensively and defensively. Next, I got Daxon Rudolph to the Jets. Now, this one I feel like I had trouble with most because I could see Lawrence also going to the Jets, but I feel like if you want, because I don't really know their defensive prospects. Well, I know them, but they're not like that known. I feel like Rudolph would like put a statement in that area. And then number 9, Lawrence fits the Panthers. He could go. They could go with Vigo as well, but I feel like Lawrence is gonna go 9 because like look, I feel like they need that position, and if they want it like to develop a bit, then Lawrence makes sense. Nashville picking Vigo also can help them with a lot of things because they need a young, energetic player that's fits Vigo because Vigo, the way he's been playing this year is just outstanding, and you could just see the talent that he's going to produce in the NHL. Blues with Hemming makes sense. He also, I feel like, fits their system. Belchez with the Devils. Um, yeah, Belchez is he's the type of player that I feel like Tankathon, which I think most of us base their list off of. They have him dropping, but I just can't see Belchez falling past the top 15 or 16.
He's at
Um,
12.
yeah, but one day I checked, he was like lower. Maybe I'm thinking of
No,
someone
yeah,
else.
yeah.
But there was this one day I checked, I was like, what the fuck? Why is he so low? But there's no way he drops to 12. Suvanto to the Islanders. They're very good at developing players like Suvanto. Suvanto's a Finnish player who is very talented. I have a buddy that plays in the Finnish league. He told me so many things about Suvanto in his game, and you don't want to miss out on that. And the Islanders won't. Columbus, Elton Hermanson. Now, I watched some film. I did some talking, and honestly, he's pretty legit. I could see Columbus. This is a little hot take, but Columbus could definitely take Elton because of his physical presence, and I feel like that's what really um they really what's the word I'm thinking of? They really develop physical players because look at Marchenko and Matejchuk's also very physical. So that's one. And then Malte Gustafsson to the Blues. Gustafsson's another guy that I did some research on, and he's very entertaining to watch. And the Blues are very good with developing European players as well. I feel like for me, the 3 teams that develop European players well, Columbus, St. Louis, and Washington. And then to finish it off, I got Ryan Lynn finishing it at 16. I could go on and on about Ryan Lynn, but I don't think I want to for you guys because I think he's a two-way player, not a two-tool player. I'm just not a fan of him because he it's just IQ and skating. Like let's say, yeah, those are the 2 biggest needs in hockey. But if you can't defend, and he's very undersized for a defender, It doesn't matter in hockey, but I feel like for a defensive standpoint, it gets to a point where like, okay, yeah, this is going to be an issue. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm just saying like some people had him top 10. I just want to address. I don't think he's top 10. I think he's going to finish 16. So this is my top 16. And take it away, Puck
I do.
Prospect Hub.
I do have a question. I mean, I don't have a question, but Belcher's at 12 is fine because that fits the BPA thing we talked about.
Exactly what you talked about.
And like I said, I would have had Gustafsson at 15, but they have too many left defensemen young.
Yeah, that's
on that
another
team.
thing.
That's why I
So-
had Lynn there.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I agree. It's just like I was also like on the run making this list. I apologize for everyone, but they do have too many left defensemen. But I feel like this guy has so much underrated talent that people are just overlooking, and I think he surpasses like most of them. That's just me though.
Yeah, you can. All right.
Yeah.
Move. Yeah.
Take it away, Puck Prospect Hub. Let's go.
Anyways, yeah. So first overall, I got McKenna because I just don't see the Leafs going anywhere else. To be honest, because they need another impactful player like that, and they need that talent. Two, I got Chase Reed. I think San Jose's gonna trade down, to be honest, and still pick Chase Reed. I think I'm gonna make a prediction right now. They're gonna trade maybe with Chicago. And the reason why I'm going to say Chicago is I think Chicago needs more offensive talent, and they want more guys, and maybe more guys like Stenberg. So I think they're going to go after Stenberg. I got a pretty good feeling about it. I know they need defensive help, but I think Chicago might take a swing here. For me, if that doesn't happen, then obviously Vancouver's picks third, and they got Stenberg because, I mean, if Henrik Sedin and Daniel Sedin are finally a part of their front office, they're definitely going to pick a Swede. There's just no chance to pass them. It's just generational. For Chicago, got Garhoff. If they don't trade up, then they'll pick a defenseman because other than really Malhotra, there's not really a lot of forwards. And, they kind of need defensive help too. They kind of need a lot, really. 5, New York. I think it's maybe a bit of a hot take, but I think they'll go a forward and pick Malhotra. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, down the middle, they're kind of missing a little bit. And I don't really think they're ready to compete yet. They're kind of going to their younger phase of players, and they're not making the playoffs next year. And maybe even the year after that, maybe not. It depends if they spend money, and I don't know if they'll want to spend money. So, they need a guy up the middle who's a two-way forward who can just do so much with the puck. I mean, Malhotra is just so smart. They need a guy like that. Next, I got Calgary picking Carson Carrolls, and my reason is because I think Calgary's going to pick a guy that is in the WHL, that's close to home, that's really offensively talented. They can do so much. They need help on the back end a lot. The back end is not really good. And I think offensively they want a guy like Carrolls who can just do so much with the puck. I mean, he's really good. 7, Seattle. I got Albert Smits because for some reason I think Seattle really likes their big, tall defenseman that can reach and defend really well, and that can really help them out in the future. Wow.
Yes, you say that, but this kept on Merkel last year.
Yeah.
Well, the front office isn't the smartest, let's just say.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the year where like they're gonna definitely. I agree with this. I agree with that take 100%.
Yeah, no.
And I think this year they gotta really establish that, and I think they will. So I love that take.
Yeah, no. And I think, well, actually, you know what? It'll really depend, though, because we don't know what's going to happen with their players that they want to trade. They obviously there's been a lot of rumors that they want to trade a whole bunch of their forwards. So, could that change their draft strategy? Maybe.
It
But
depends on what they're acquiring.
I mean, that's the thing. Could they trade like McCann or Shane Ray at the draft? I don't know. Like,
I believe
honestly,
that's more of a deadline thing, but I could see like I could see McNabb 100% getting dealt at the draft. Shane Wright, I believe, is a deadline type of guy to see like where
Yeah.
he's at and if his value climbs because he's been extremely underwhelming, especially where he's been picked.
yeah.
So
But if you wait at the deadline, his value might have tanked. So you might
yeah,
lose.
and that's the thing. But let's just say let's just say at the deadline he goes off. Let's say he goes off. You could get you'd get a nice return. It's a high risk it's a high risk low reward type of scenario. It's just a really risky scenario, but I think McNabb is the guy that gets drafted at the deadline because at the draft, sorry. But he gets dealt at the draft only because he has for sure value. Like his value. Where While with Shane Wright, you might want to give it a few months to see how it goes. That's just me.
Yeah, I could see them trading McMahon and stacking draft picks to want to pick forwards in the bottom end of the draft, and that's because they just. I mean, to be honest, I think their prospect pool forward wise is actually it's not bad. I think it's actually pretty good. But that's where they need. That's what they need. They need scoring. I'm pretty sure they were like pretty bottom of the league in scoring. They had trouble with that. Um, but but yeah. Next is Winnipeg, and here I have Winnipeg picking Daxton Rudolph, and my reasoning for that is because to be honest, they're trying to, they're technically trying to win because their group is so old, and to be honest, is Rudolph gonna be ready next year? Probably not. Is he gonna be ready the year after that? Maybe we'll see. But their defensive core is a bit older. They kind of need guys on the back end if they want to make a run. Um, and I really, honest to God, I really see them picking a defenseman here. It makes a lot of sense for me for them to do that. Um, Next, I have Florida picking Tynan Lawrence, and my reasoning for that is because the Panthers, to be honest, I think are going to pick a guy that needs a lot of development and needs time because they're trying to win cups. They're still trying to go after probably other players in free agency to upgrade their team. So I think they're going to pick a guy that's going to take some time to develop and be ready in a couple of years. And Lawrence just kind of fits that type of profile. And I mean, Barkov is coming back. Everyone's coming back. Really, everyone's gonna be healthy because they make the playoffs. So they're gonna be right there, ready to go for another uh, great season and probably another playoff run. Um, Next at 10, we got Nashville. Got Nashville picking Vigo Bjork, and I think with their new front office and what's going on there, they're getting older at the forward position. I mean, Stamkos probably doesn't have a lot
Marcia
left.
Soda as well.
Yeah, they probably don't have a lot left at at their forward core. To be honest, it's really older. Obviously, they gave out those big contracts to a lot of those guys. I just think Vigo Bjork will really fit well in a group that is probably looking to add guys on the wing because center wise, they're actually not bad. I think they're not that bad, but they need a little bit more scoring. A little bit more scoring. I think Vigo can fit that profile and definitely help out there. Um, Now, 11 for St. Louis, I got Oscar Hemming, and I love Oscar Hemming a lot. I think this guy could be such a good power forward in this league, especially at his size and drive the net, do all these things. He's so good with the puck. He's so skilled. I mean, for a guy his size, the way he can handle the puck and all that is really impressive. And St. Louis likes to take bigger forwards. I really think they're trying to stack up with forwards because, obviously there's a lot of talk about Robert Thomas and I don't think Robert Thomas is getting traded. But the guy that I think will get traded is Kyrou. I think they're going to trade him, and that opens a spot for winger. And why would you not want to have a guy like this, as we're showing him right now, shooting the puck and all that? I mean, he can shoot it, he can handle it, he can do a lot of the damage. He can be a big boy in front of the net. I mean, he's just so good with the puck. I mean, and his just
He's another guy that I really like that I feel
Mhm.
like needs at least a year or maybe a year and a half in the to make the NHL. I feel like his talent is just so perfected that
Yeah.
you could see him in the NHL soon. Like maybe you could have him as like a Ben Kendall type of player.
I think no, you just put it right there. They're not looking to contend. They're trying to get rid of pieces. They're not really ready to go for another championship as they did like in 2018. I think they're trying to stack up forwards. They're trying to be ready for the future of St. Louis Blues, and
100%.
that's why I just have a feeling they'll pick two forwards here for sure, 100%. Next up, maybe a little bit of shocker. Probably a little bit of
Yeah.
shocker. I have New Jersey going after a kid that I love, JP Herbert, and New Jersey likes their small forwards. They do. They like their forwards that can shoot the puck. Obviously, Herbert needs to. His skating isn't the best. He needs to work on that a bit. His acceleration is not good, but this kid is super super talented, and I think with it, I think he's going to. Where's he going next year? Is it Michigan State? Is he going to? Where's he going
It's
next
one of the
year?
Michigans, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to Michigan.
Yeah, he's
I
going to
think
Michigan.
maybe 2 years, because New Jersey obviously trying to win, so they're not looking for a guy right now. I think, they need more offense. They're looking for more offense. This kid can shoot the puck. His shot is so good. His hockey IQ is really good. But yeah, I mean, just looking at him right now, he's just such a good hockey player. I know he's lower in the rankings, but I can really see New Jersey taking a swing on this guy just because it'll take some time to develop. But yeah.
Yeah, I
So
100% agree with that. It's just my only issue with that is it I feel like it's a risk picking him at 12, but
mhm.
you you've said everything perfectly. Like he's a great offensive player and he's a
Yeah,
small forward, which we've all seen. They love their small forwards,
yeah,
exactly
they
what you
do.
said.
They
Yeah,
do.
of course. Um but I think it's a reach, but it's not a
Mhm.
bad reach if they went for it. So that's my input.
I think in these drafts we obviously see a lot of reaches, and I think we're gonna see that in this draft. I mean, you always see a player or two that gets picked higher than they're
We
supposed
saw
to.
that last year. We
Yeah.
saw that last year.
So, you gotta. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that again. You gotta accept that there's gonna be sometimes that players just get picked way higher than they do because teams see something they like or have a player already in their team that they like, and they could see that, oh, maybe he's going to be like this guy, or I could see this guy having a role in the future playing with these guys. Like Herbert, honest to God, he could play with a Jack Hughes because he's just,
I think he could keep up with him.
yeah. Next up, at 13, I got the Islanders picking 18 Belshitz. I think the Islanders are they got really good prospects on defense. Obviously, Keishon Aitchison. Um, look, look at the
Oh
recent
yeah.
post. Look at the recent post on the puck prospect hug, but he's had a great playoff. I mean,
Shout him out. Shout him out.
that
Great
kid,
page.
Was
Great
casually,
he's
page.
been
like this post.
unbelievable.
Um
He's played so many minutes for them, for the Barry Colts in the playoffs. It's unbelievable. But he's just definitely a player that's going to be so impactful for the Islanders and a really good defender. But anyways, Belshitz is he's really talented. Obviously, he's got a really good shot. I think the Islanders are in need of more offensive talent. Obviously, they have a lot of good talent in their farm system already coming up, but they just need more, and that's because we saw that Anders Lee is leaving. Cal Palmieri is probably done after his injury, but he's probably coming back. But to be honest, he's really getting older. And Matt Barzal needs, another winger next to him that can make a lot of plays, and I think Velshitz can really do that. I think he's a big boy. I mean, he can shoot the puck, he can retrieve it, he can do anything you want. He can play on your power play. He might take a couple years to develop, but he's just so good in front of the net.
I said, I did have
Next up,
I did have
we got at 14 Adam Novotny. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets. I know we talked about how Columbus, they like their European forwards. They obviously have a lot of European forwards. But I think they take another winger here because they need more scoring. They really do. I think down the middle they're pretty set for the next couple of years. Obviously signing Charlie Coyle to a nice little extension, which it's pretty
Kind of outrageous, but it's okay.
pretty interesting.
Kind of outrageous. 6 years is pretty insane. But
so I think that's why. I mean, what do you do with a guy like that that's gonna be on your team for 6 more years? It's like he's like blocking a bit of their prospects that are coming down the middle. Another reason why I think they're gonna pick a winger is, let's all be honest here, Caden Lindstrom is a bit of a bust. Like,
I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I think it's a little bit too early to say, but where he was selected, I agree.
he did not look good this year for I believe it was Michigan State.
And I think he got injured again.
Yeah, that too. He's just injury prone too, so they picked him as a winger, obviously, thinking he was going to be a big player for them, ready to go. Probably, honestly, Columbus probably thought he was going to be ready maybe next year or even maybe this year to make his NHL debut, and he's not going to be ready maybe for another year, even 2, because he needs time in the AHL. He really does. So I really just think they'll pick a left winger here, a guy who, not gonna lie, he's a bit underrated. Not gonna lie, because he kind of flew under the radar. Obviously being on a Peterborough Pete's team that, no, they were okay. They weren't the best, but he flew under the radar because his skills were, they were there, but he put up a lot of points at OHL. He did really well, and I think that Columbus will pick him. Next up, St. Louis. I got another bit of a surprise here, and it's Matthias Preston. Obviously, he plays in WHL. I really like this kid. Obviously he's a smaller forward. I believe he's 5'11". Obviously on the smaller side, he doesn't weigh that much, but I believe that this kid is he's offensively gifted really with the shot. His skating too is so good. He reminds me a bit of Cole Caulfield. I gotta be honest. And that's just because of the fact that he's just a smaller guy. He's not supposed to be picked that high. His shot's just so good. I mean, you give this guy time in front of the net, he's just gonna score. He really is. Like, he's got such a quick release. He's so good. I see St. Louis taking a swing here and taking a guy lower like this, because I believe St. Louis is going to be looking at all their possibilities, looking at if they want to trade down because they obviously got 2 picks in the first round. If they like someone who is, who is ready to go and ready to be a guy for them in the future. But I believe this is the guy that they're going to pick here because they want more offense, and this kid his shot is unbelievable. And lastly, got Washington, and I think me and Prospect Scouting Report have the same one. I mean, we kind of believe that Washington is going to pick a defenseman, and it's just because they traded John Carlson. They need more help on defense. Um, they lack a bit there. Obviously, they got Lane Hudson's brother, Cole Hudson, now to give them more offense, but they need more guys that can skate on the blue line. They're a bit older on the blue line. They lack a lot of that other teams have. So, yeah, and that's it. That's all I got.
Nice. I like that. I don't mind that. That's pretty good. I don't know. I mean, if I look at it again,
Sorry. Spoke is having technical difficulties. Just give him a second. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All good. All good.
Everyone,
Hey,
all right, I apologize. Streaming on your phone is not the best, so don't look up at me. But I got a little PSA announcement and a little special guest. From left field, Luke has his top 16 to present to us. So let's see what he got.
I have to put it down. Boop, 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 boop.
Am I good to take it away?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Floor is yours.
Starting off, I think we gotta go McKenna. I mean, there's no way that you almost have a 50-50 chance and you don't to get either a top 5 pick or the Bruins get the pick. I don't see a world in where McKenna doesn't go first overall. I mean, I think we spent most a year trying to find reason to give competition to him for this pick. It's just got to be McKenna. I mean, everything's there. You have the defensive flaws, but this is the kind of guy that you spend your first on.
Second overall. I mean,
Second overall, I know Stenberg's been very good this year, but I got to go Chase Reed. That offense is already stacked. I think the way that you fill in every single hole on the Sharks roster is you go Chase Reed. And I believe they're smart enough to do that. You're making the most well-rounded out team there is by selecting him. Most of the stuff has been said about these players and their skill sets already, but Chase Reed, what a story to becoming a top 5 projected overall pick. The upside is insane for this kid. Moving on to number 3, that's when I believe Stenberg will fly off the board. Probably one of the most well-rounded or the most rounded out player in the entire draft. The only reason I could see him falling to 3 is because of position of need and McKenna just having the built-up hype that he has. But Stenberg really makes sense to Vancouver with the 2 picking above them. I think that's your best player available. Canucks need just about everything, so you can't
Yeah,
really
100%. 100%. Like the Canucks, I feel like are just in a terrible position right now. For the future and currently. But I just think like I believe Stenberg could go 3. I only have him at 2 because number one, I didn't really make any trades. I should have, but I was busy. But I could definitely see Stenberg going 3 because Vancouver needs a guy just like Stenberg.
Absolutely.
And yeah, they need someone that's NHL ready and that could lift their offense. And they also have the Sedins in the front office.
And
Let's not forget that.
I also think that people are forgetting this is a very good draft class, but most of these guys, probably all except 3, will need experience in college or the A before they even touch the pros. And even those 3 are on the cusp of needing more college experience or some college experience just because of the pace of the game, physicality. There's a lot that goes on behind it. And truth is, these are kids. They're 18 years old, 17 years old. They got a lot to learn, but the sky is the limit. Moving on to number 4, I have Verhaeghe. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you have
Keaton Vierhoff.
Bearhoff. Yeah, I always mess up his name, but Bearhoff, I think again is very similar to what San Jose got going on. You already have a pretty well established top 6, especially with Korchinski not really panning out. I mean, he's still young, he's still got time, but for where he was picked in his draft year and his position, you really would have liked to see more. And I think they might try and find in this draft what they were trying to find in him at his time. So if it's position of need, it's one of the best players available. And that's where a lot of my list comes in at. Again, we covered these guys' skill sets pretty much already. So draft position, positional need, and best player available. That's really the 3 top things I'm looking at when I'm going down this list. And he just makes the most sense to Chicago. When I go to the Rangers at number 5, New York is not going to like me. They had an awful season, did just about everything wrong that you can do wrong. I don't believe in the management at all. And this isn't to just like curse them, but there's how many different directions you can go here. I think they go Tynan Lawrence, who I'm not saying is a bust or doesn't have the tools, whatever. He's got a good frame, a good shot, but he came into Boston University late this season, and it took him very long, probably way longer than what was anticipated, to actually get going. And I can see the Rangers making a reach for something that, your top 5 pick, you shouldn't be reaching on things. But that's just the way management has been running things for how long now? I mean, this season was awful.
Let's also
So,
just not forget about Alexis Lafreniere as their first overall pick.
and
okay.
these not, yeah, exactly. And
He's
that's
not
not
a
even,
first pick guy, but he's such a weird type of player. I feel like he's also in the same boat as Shane Wright for me.
I
But
wouldn't.
right.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say that because when Panarin left, what
I
got
don't know
traded
about that
away. Yeah,
because he
when he
turned it
got
on after Panarin left. He actually
well,
turned it
maybe
right in.
yeah.
Yep.
But I feel like let's just see a whole season without Panarin. Let's see how it goes. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm just saying I don't think he's a pick type
But
of
when you
guy.
but when you're comparing those 2 players, well, even 3 now with him, with Lawrence in the picture, I see a lot of the sky high potential, but gets to the team and you don't know if they could be a top 6 or top 9. And a lot of times I think the potential is, or my bad, I have that asked backwards. The reality is camouflaged by the potential. But
Yeah, it's just I don't disagree. I could see the Rangers reaching. They've always. I feel like most of the draft picks they've reached,
and
but
Tynan Lawrence also makes sense because if they were to do a move like that, there's your center to Gabe Perreault. To me, that makes a lot of sense to try and build the offense off what you already have.
yeah, 100%.
Going down to number 6, I have the Flames going for Vigo. This is a guy that I was high on since last season. I don't think he's anywhere near a top 10 or top 15 player. I would put him in the top 5 conversation. He was being argued with McKenna's skill set as of last season. And then this season, he started off very cold. It was a quieter start to the season. People started having him fall into the end of the lottery and even late first round in some mocks. Now, granted, that's beginning of the season, but I don't doubt this kid at all. I think Vigo is damn near Stenberg capabilities. And when you look at the Flames roster and their pool, I think this is exactly the guy you want to add into the mix to give certain guys a run for it.
For some reason, I feel like they go defenseman, but like it's not. I could see something like that potentially happening.
They have too many forwards that have showed
Yeah,
quick little stints and flashes, but nobody that has built off of it.
yeah, 100%. It's just I feel like they go defenseman, but I wouldn't be shocked if Vigo is their pick. I wouldn't be shocked. He's also going to be a Terrier. He committed to BU, I believe, today. So that's something to look forward to, especially for me because he's like right next door to me. But yeah,
Now going on to number 7 with the Seattle Kraken. I believe Carson Carlos is your guy. To me, at this point, you've hit the point in the draft where it's best player available. So you're
I
going to
think
look for the rounded out guys.
I think that's 3 people who have Carroll's going to Seattle. Am I wrong? I think I'm correct. I said it.
I said it as well.
Maybe even more.
The only one that didn't have it is prospect report added to the Flames.
Bro.
You ruined something, brother.
You ruined something perfect. No, I'm just kidding.
It does just seem like that match in heaven. Like,
But I could also see him going to the Flames. He's the most like
No,
Flames player possible.
I'm not saying that, but
But anyway, go on, Luke.
fits the build.
yeah. What Ben said fits the bill. This is a guy that you can potentially add in right away. I don't think he's NHL ready, but I think he's got a lot of room to grow on the Seattle Kraken team. There's a lot of question marks about this team. We all know they're not great at the moment. They've had a fair share of good picks now, and still something just keeps it from getting better. Like, something's holding them back when, after how many lottery picks, they should have shown some sort of progression by now. And I think Carl's is probably one of your best shots at getting the wheels rolling. Given that the the other prospects I'd mentioned would be off the board at this point in time. Moving down to number 8, Winnipeg.
This
I
is where
could see,
things get dicey.
Yep.
I could see them going Kel Mahota.
Okay.
I mean, why do you
Again,
think at 8, not higher?
again, this is a guy who, in a lot of people's mocks over the past 6 months, has risen drastically, and is now a projected top 5 pick.
You know what? I feel like you and Nova. I'm sorry to cut you off, but you and Nova have said the same thing because Nova's also like not that high on him either.
I'm not trying to discredit him or knock him down, but again, positional needs, your draft position is
Right.
important, and I lost my train of thought. But yeah, and best player available. So to me, this is a perfect fit for a Winnipeg team that has shown that they're nothing outside the regular season. It's ultimately going to make or break them sooner or later if they don't do something in the playoffs soon. And this year, they completely flopped. So it might be sooner than later for them. I think this is a guy that you can pick, and going forward, it points you in the right direction. But if this is it, it's a long way up from here.
They badly started and got better. They could have had a much higher pick if they didn't like make a push for the playoffs.
Yeah, that was really stupid on their end.
They could have been around. They could have been around like that, that Calgary, New York range.
Yeah, but I feel like tons of teams want to trade down, and I feel like they definitely
They
are one of the
could.
teams that want to trade up.
They're a candidate to move.
Yeah,
up.
of course.
Absolutely.
Number 9, Florida Panthers. I have them going Ethan Belchets.
I mean,
I think when you look at Ethan and what he's capable of, not only on the puck, off the puck, I'm talking the physicality. I think this is exactly the kind of player that, not to say his ceiling is going to be anywhere as high, I think this is exactly the kind of player that Florida saw in Matthew Tkachuk. And again, not saying he will be anywhere near that good, but this is the kind of get under your skin, do it all kind of player that fits Florida. We all know how they like to play, and they're always going to just keep on adding guys like this. And not only are you adding a guy who fits their style of play, you're adding one with a very high ceiling who has a pretty good shot on him. To me, that's one of the most locked in picks for the top 10 besides the top 3. True match in heaven.
yeah, absolutely. I love that fit as well. I literally have him there. I love that fit.
Going down to the Nashville Predators at 10. Again, now we're falling back into draft position and best player available. I think Albert Smith fits that very well. Predators is another team who has flashes, but again, they got a long road ahead of them before they have a chance to playoffs. And I think you just go best player available, and at this point in time, it's Albert Smith. Had an amazing World Juniors. If I'm not mistaken, around that time, he was being considered a top 5 pick. What do you have to lose by
That
draft?
is very true. That is very true
It was
because
like
he was
top
projected
7,
around that area.
top 7, top 8. Yeah.
I just think everything given, this is the right move at this point in time for Nashville, and meaning they have not many, but a few forward prospects who were on the verge of NHL debuts. I would say Smith fits the show.
I like him there. I just don't think he falls that far.
That's the thing with me as well. But I could also see like a big defender like Smith's definitely go to Nashville. But I just don't believe that he's gonna fall that far.
210, yeah.
But also, I think Nashville's gonna just they might screw the draft up, honestly, because they don't draft.
What do
well.
you think? Wait, well, what do you think?
They don't draft well, to be honest.
You're not
I
wrong.
you had Bjork going. You had Bjork going there.
Well, Bjork
Top
just
10,
makes
I think
sense
the
for
most
them.
likely to trade a first round pick is Nashville. All of these other draft positions and teams, I don't think any one of them has more ability to. Well, I shouldn't say ability. More need to trade a first than to keep it than Nashville. Nashville could easily flip that, but I don't expect a lot of trades for the first round. I really don't. I know a lot of people are anticipating them. I would be shocked if there's 3.
You sound like me at the deadline. At the baseball deadline, I was like, dude, there's gonna be so many trades, and there was like nothing. So I respect that opinion.
Going down to number 11, St. Louis Blues. Oscar Hemming really kicked it on second half of the collegiate year and started seeing some minutes next to James Higgins. Really started putting it together. Kid's got a phenomenal shot. Decent skating. I know I'm going over some of the skills we had already mentioned on these guys, but again, this is another guy. You already have Jimmy Snuggerud. Why not add another crafty wing to the situation?
Yeah.
I really believe that Hemming is a guy who, even if he's not on the same line as Snuggerud, if he's a line behind and those two guys are going around in your top 6, that's a lot of offensive firepower in the future there. I really love that move for them.
I agree.
That's all I'm really going to say there. Going down to number 12. Now, I forget who was last in their order. I'm trying to remember whose list was last.
Number 12 is the Islanders, I think.
No.
The Devils.
No, Devils, sorry.
Which one of you guys had gone before me?
Right, we all did.
We all did. You're next.
Right before me.
Oh, next gen, but he's not feeling well. So
That
you
was
got
first.
to
That's first pick club before you.
Shout out to Next Gen. I'm going to go exactly with what you said about New Jersey loving their small forwards.
No, wait, no, that's Prospect Hub. That's Prospect Hub. Sorry, that's Prospect Hub.
Gotcha. But shout out.
What's going on?
He's shouting you out because he agrees.
I
Yeah,
believe
agrees with the small forwards.
I believe
Like
in
my
number
rankings?
12,
Mhm.
the most fitting pick for New
'Cause
Jersey.
I gotta be honest. I just I can't hear him anymore. So yeah, that's what
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on, Luke. Hold on. He's basically saying he agrees with the take of how New Jersey loves to draft their small forwards.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate it.
yeah, Luke, take it away.
Number 12, New Jersey Devils. I believe that they will pick Adam Novotny. Everything regarding the Hughes brothers, Jack's future in New Jersey, Quinn's future in Minnesota. I really think either Jack stays or Jack leaves. Either way, you add another crafty forward to that group. This is exactly what this team is looking for. And Novotny is borderline top 10 in this draft. It's so defensive oriented or dominated early. If it wasn't for all that, Novotny may be a number 8 pick, but you see some of these guys falling because of the excellent defenders that are just ranked above all these guys. Give me Novotny all day at number 12 for the New Jersey Devils.
I agree with that. Novotny is a very crafty player, especially on his offensive side. There's a lot of upside with him. And not only that, he's a great skater. So,
And you saw that in the World Juniors again.
100%. Yeah. So, who do you got going next?
Number 13. This is another one that I'm very keen on. New York Islanders. Give me Daxon Rudolph. What a better way to shape your forward going up for your defensive core than having Matthew Schaefer play next to Daxon Rudolph at the right defenseman spot. Daxon Rudolph, for you guys who don't know, I've been saying is damn near a top 5 pick. The top 10 is so insane in this class, but Daxon Rudolph, his offensive ceiling is probably some of Adam Fox, and his defensive ceiling is probably some of Mo Siders. I've been saying it since day one. Now, he's got tons of work till he gets to those ceilings, but this is a phenomenal prospect. I love Daxon Rudolph. I love what he brings to the game. For a defenseman, he has one hell of a shot.
I was about to say that kid has a great shot from the blue line.
And not even from the blue line. He rotates. He can get
Yeah.
and when he's on the point, that shot's even more utilized. I love his rotating. I love his spacing. Defensive capabilities are pretty good. I mean, still needs some work in that area. But, again, he's one of the most hybrid offensive defensive defenders there is. And the sky is the limit for this kid. I really love Daxon Rudolph in this draft.
Yeah, me too. He's a great name. And like you said, his shot is just really there and it just gives him value. And it improves his draft stock. So I 100% agree.
And then seeing where we go next here. Oh, Columbus Blue Jackets. Give me Ryan Lynn. I think Lynn has shades of some of Werenski's game. And again, now you're getting towards position and best player available. If you think there's a guy that can even mirror half of Zach Werenski's game, you're gonna gamble on that. And it's not a gamble because Ryan Lynn is a pretty well-rounded player. Like most people, he's probably going to spend a year or two in college, and he's a very good skater on the edges, can turn on a dime, and good defensive distributor. I really like his game. I think he could be a top 4, maybe top 2 pair defender.
I could see him top 2. That's it, though.
Yeah, but I believe he's going to be more of an offensive defender. But he's still going to be a decently reliable defender. He's not going to be a bottom pair guy.
Yeah, I feel like it for him is just his skating and his IQ for me that stands out. He makes the right decisions and he makes them very well. It's just like I just can't see him, like you said, being a bottom pair defender. So that's why I have him going at 16 to the Capitals.
I don't think he's got quite the ceiling to be a top pair either, but he's still going to be more than serviceable in your top 4.
Yeah. Okay. I get it.
going down to number 15, St. Louis Blues, back on the clock. Give me Olivier Savanto.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think this is a guy who, again, we're looking at current players and what you'd like to add to a team. If the St. Louis Blues were to move Robert Thomas, I think this is a guy that brings shades of his game that would either play well next to him or fill a hole if you were to be dealt. Savanto, also another World Juniors draft climber. We saw his stock skyrocket. He probably wasn't even the first round projection wise at that time. But after the World Juniors, he was on everyone's radar.
I agree. I mean, Suvanto to me, because I have a friend that plays in the Finnish league, and his draft year is next year. But he's played with Suvanto before, and he's told me so many things about it. His style of play, what he does, how he does it. He's a high effort type of player, and you can't go wrong with this pick. So I am all for Olivier Suvanto.
And then I'll round it out here at number 16. Uh, if Savanto does not go to St. Louis at 15 or higher for whatever reason, I see him going to the Capitals. But in my scenario here, I have him going one above. So I think the Capitals will do a little bit of a reach here. I think they go Morozov. Probably butchered that, but
Ooh.
I think with Ovechkin out the door, you're looking to add another big Russian who, let's face it, he has the size, the frame, the physicality.
You're basically getting Alexei Protas 2.0, but I feel like Nikita Klepov is more Klepov, however you pronounce his name. I feel like he's more of a refined player than Morozov. Not saying Morozov's good, there's talent there, but I feel I'm more confident in Klepov. I've done research on him. I've seen him play. I've watched some of his games. His offensive talent is insane. But I feel like he fits more into the system than Morozov does. I feel like Morozov is more of like a blue, in my opinion.
See, I believe Morozov is going to go at 16 to the Capitals because of the way his trajectory has pinball machined around all season long. We've seen him as a high as a top 10 pick. We've seen him all but falling out the first round, back to borderline lottery pick.
Very unpredictable, yeah.
This might be your big swing and your big gamble for what's left out there, and before things really start getting tricky. And I don't think it's a bad pick at all, considering the Capitals' youth and pool going forward after a lot of these forwards are out.
I mean,
Yeah.
you said about the whole thing about the size and like weight of the guy. For example, for like comparison, Klepov is 6 foot 181, and Morozov is 6'3", 205. So the size is definitely at the advantage of Morozov, which fits the build of the Capitals with the big flank forwards with the Protas brothers. Even
Yeah.
even McMichael, Leonard is not a small guy either.
And then you got Tom Wilson, so
You have
yeah, I
Tom
agree.
Wilson. So whoever you go,
I actually really like that. Holy shit. Good job, Luke.
Morozov or Klepov, I think it makes both sense for both. But personally,
You
has
could go
Klepov.
either way.
You could go either way,
Literally.
yeah, literally. You
But
could literally go either way.
yeah, that's it for everyone. Shout out Ben, shout out Puck Prospect Hub, shout out Luke for joining in. Shout out Next Gen. Hope he feels better. He's not feeling well. That's why he left. And shout out our show producer Amari Scott and backstage. Shout him out. Thank you for everything. You guys did amazing. Thank you all. And we will see you whenever. Definitely not on another Friday night. I'm sorry. But
Right shot on the left side.
And he open, you can't give him chances, especially one-on-one.
Leaving no rebound.